Here we are eating lunch.
All right.
Are you hungry? How is it?
Tasty.
Okay.
Okay.
It's oats, bananas, and blueberries.
Did you make this, Rachel?
Shape.
I'm gonna get some food.
I'm ready for some. Good job, Shay.
That's great.
Primo.
It's amazing.
Awesome.
Whoever cut up that salad did a great job.
Yeah.
Community lunch. Here we go.
Thanks, friends. It was the garden that did the work.
Thank you, garden. Hey guys! So I'm in week 3 of my permaculture course and I'm loving it. That was our lunch that we had yesterday for our class. It's a community lunch and we just pick lettuce out of the garden and eat it, make a salad. It was so good and I love our community. And I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on. Up next is going to be a little teaching about Vermi-compost. So if you're interested in that, Lucian Toma, my teacher, is going to be teaching about it. I recorded our class. And basically his business about and for sustainability is teaching a permaculture design course that I'm a part of with my other fellow students. And we're just having so much fun learning about this. I'm getting my mind blown and just so happy that we're developing our community here in San Clemente and just these ideas and trying to spread the word. We're working on Marblehead Elementary School garden and we're going to be trying to revive that and get things rolling up there. So that's another cool local thing that's happening that we want the community to be a part of, especially the youth and the kids who go to that elementary school, most importantly. So yeah, so stay tuned if you're interested in learning about Vermi-compost, which you can do at your urban home farm, just like Lucian is doing at his home. And it's really interesting. So if you want to learn, check it out. Thanks.
Yeah, this is just primary decomposers, the worms that are basically decomposing food scraps. So you don't need nitrogen and carbon in here. All you need is food scraps, which are basically rich in nitrogen. This actually looks pretty bad right now. Whoever put these in here didn't think too much. But, and it wasn't me, that's for sure. Basically, who was it?
It was me.
Guilty.
Good. I'm glad you took it. Look, I'm even
It's not actually.
I'm even putting avocado pits in here. Look at these guys.
Wow.
They're in and out.
Wait,
so there's certain things that you want to put in there. There's certain things that you don't. This is mostly food scraps. Things you don't want to put in here is citrus. A lot of the allium family, which means the onion families. You don't want to put any cooked food in here unless it was just steamed. You don't want oils. You don't want breads in here. So basically, this is a vegan's best friend. They are vegans.
Put the manure in it.
They are raw vegans.
No, not in here. You don't put manure in here.
They are raw vegans, and look, they do it with manure. They do worm castings with manure. I found that there's a higher value in this than in poop. Like if you put animal manure to compost, and I'll tell you the reason right now. They're getting a diversity of things in here. Avocado pits and all kinds of food scraps. That's what I was saying. The life in the soil, the food in the soil, it like really reflects what you eat. So when they get this and they transform this into their poop, which is basically compost, there are way more many minerals and way more many nutrients in here because we have such a variety of things that is going in there. When you do it just from manure, you have just one principle, and it's very different. Not very different, but it's pretty different kind of like vermicomposting from animal manure. Okay?
Okay.
So in general, composting, you do it with pre-consumer foods. Okay? So you don't do it with post, kind of. Give me a second here. Back to this. Watch what's happening here, and you guys saw that there's all these little guys. When you see little guys in your compost bin, it's like great. So look at all this. Look at all these guys. They're having a party. This is great. This is an amazing thing. So you see, you have all the, you have, there is the same worms, only that those guys are little babies that they just hatched.
These are red wigglers?
These are red wigglers.
Can there ever be too many worms in a vermiculture?
So here's the thing.
What's that?
So here's the,
Go, my little savages, go.
so here's the thing with worms. They can eat half to their full weight in one day.
That's insane.
Now,
But they don't
the-
weigh much.
what? Well, 1 pound of worms can go through a half a pound or a pound of food a day. And
Sounds good,
and
too.
they, in the right conditions, they would double the population every 3 months. Okay, the right conditions. Now, the right conditions are they get a lot of food scraps. You have to feed them in a way that, you know, think about it, like that pit that I showed you is going to take them a long time. They're not, even if there's a pound of worms and this is all they have to eat, they're not going to do it that fast. Why? Because it takes a while, because it's super hard. So that's why if you feed worms something that's really chopped up, really small pieces, like pulp from juicing, or if you have all of your food waste and you put it in a blender, then you'll have more success. So it breaks down a little bit more. Okay.
So, can you have too many worms in a worm bin?
Good question.
Yeah, I mean, at one point you're gonna see that there are a lot of worm bins. They eat it really fast, so you can like start a new worm bin.
Okay.
Okay.
But it's not like they'll all die if there's too many.
Yeah,
If
they're-
Oh, that's what I wanna
there just
know.
won't be enough food, so some of them will die, and then
Yeah.
it'll equal itself.
And they're very
okay.
smart in a way that they actually get used to your feeding schedule. They're very smart.
Oh, really?
They have multiple different kinds of like roles in their society too, in their worm society, where basically some are the guys that you see all these marks here. These guys wanted to know what the environment is.
What?
Other,
What are you talking
so
about?
you see all these marks here?
Yeah.
This is worms that just walked around here, right?
And they
Or
were
like-
doing what?
They were trying to
Exploring.
see. They're investigating where they're
How
at.
big the
Okay.
space is.
Others are going
Fun.
deep inside to see if they can find a pit, and they come back and they report to the entire colony.
Oh,
Okay, so they're very smart.
They communicate
Beans.
chemically?
I don't know.
We don't know.
They probably say, "Yo, Johnny! Yo, Johnny! Look at that."
And then how often do you take those
The
worms and
way
put
a
them
kid
in your
does right
garden?
there. Good boys.
Yeah. How do you apply these?
We slid you, we slid
You have a. Hold on one second.
Sprinkle them around?
Now let me tell you a little bit about the right conditions. You want this, if you guys stick your hand in here, you see this is not too wet, it's not too dry. You want to have it as a sponge after you like finished
out.
washing and you like kind of like,
Like a
squeeze
sponge.
all the water in it, but it's still wet. That's that's what
This
you
is
want to
loam,
have.
right? Would
What?
you call this loam? No.
Yeah, it's
would.
compost that's basically building
Loam.
that loam. Exactly. But it's missing the structure of, you know, it's missing having sand and clay and silt in
Okay.
here. This is organic.
Food.
This is compost basically. Now look, you see this? This is what they're decomposing. So what we're doing, we're bringing all this good juice pulp from a local juicery. So we
We have
connected
some.
with a local juicery. Morgan is going every Saturday right now, and he gets it, and that's what we feed him.
so
Okay.
they're fed every Saturday?
Yes.
Wait, a
In a perfect
juicery
world.
then has,
Okay.
Monday or
has
Tuesday
citrus
when we
in
got
it.
to it.
Exactly.
We have
I'm
the
so
food,
glad he
we
said
can
that.
feed them.
So, okay, anyway, this is all the castings here, but there still is some food in there. I'm going to show you how to harvest, but the deeper you go, the more just castings you get, okay? So, right, look at that, like all the way at the bottom. Look, you see all the eggshells too? Mm-hmm. Okay,
What's a casting?
that's the poop. That's the worm casting. That's the compost, okay?
What do you think?
It is broken down.
Hello, little guys.
So it's compost. It's all that organic matter transformed into compost. Okay. So this is organic matter. Okay, here, and it's gonna break down and become compost,
Well,
basically.
compost is still organic matter, though.
It is, but it's like broken down.
As
That's how
opposed
you
to sand and clay.
exactly. So organic matter is also the grape right now. Okay, so that's how we differentiate that compost is that organic matter decomposed in the right way.
How do you apply it?
Give me a second before that because I really want to tell you there is one important part here. This is not just, you don't add just food waste. They need bedding. Okay, so when you start a worm bin, you start with bedding, which can be
Coconut coir.
it could be coconut coir, which I like to use. It could be newspapers. It could be cardboard. It could be, I've seen people using all kinds of things for bedding, basically. So that needs to be a place where they go, but something that they can consume too, because they consume that also. Okay, and then you keep on doing. The one secret here is to never have food waste at the top. You always want to have the food waste covered with whatever your bedding is. So you start with bedding at the bottom, you put bedding at the top. When you feed, you can put the food on the bedding and then put new bedding on, or you can remove the bedding, put the food, put the bedding back.
So the bedding is meant to be just another source of food.
Another source of food and where they live,
They're medium.
okay? Because they can't live just in their poop. Does that make sense? Kind of?
Like a
So
structure.
bedding on the bottom, bedding at the top.
Bedding at the bottom, bedding at the
It
top.
protects them.
Yeah, and then the bedding, you can keep on layering and putting food waste, and then it becomes
Part of
compost, and then you give them bedding again, okay? Sometimes you may want to water in here. I never really water in here unless I'm gone for a long time and it's kind of drying out. You want to have it in a shady spot, never in full sun. They don't like heat. They'd rather be cold than be hot. They're kind of like chickens.
If you're doing this in an apartment, I know you mentioned it on Earth Day, but what can we do to
Does it
prevent
stink?
fruit flies?
No.
No.
What do you
fruit
do?
flies?
I said it already. Never have food on the top. Always have the bedding on the top.
So you could
That
put the
way you
newspaper
have
on.
exactly, or coconut coir, like completely covered. Okay.
That helps with the smell.
The smell, the fruit flies.
Just the closet is alright? for that?
Now we need drainage. You see that at the bottom?
Holes.
There's a lot of juice that's going in there. Sometimes it's good juice. Sometimes it's just like plant from the feeding. And Chris, this is funny. Or who fed these last week?
Okay, so I fed it with the pulp, but there was like corn sitting on
Got
top.
you. You fed him last week?
Yeah.
They went through all of it in a week.
It's amazing.
And
Address
he
the-
probably put 2-3 pounds, so we have like 2-3 pounds of worms
So
in there.
address the citrus then.
So the citrus is really broken down. What really is not good is what kind of citrus are you going to put in your bin anyway? You're going to put the peel. It's full of all kinds of oils. That basically is like,
Yeah.
they don't like it. It doesn't kill them, but they don't like that.
But the pulp's okay.
The pulp's okay.
Got it.
Okay, but that's not the main thing. I mean, you can't
Right.
give them just citrus.
Right.
Because the juice has that oil in it too. You can do it like this. See, I have a lot of worms in here too. I don't mind having this kind of worm, so I'm going to come here and feed my passion fruit. Look, they're already, you see the guys already there? Look how many microorganisms are breaking down the mulch.
You just pull the mulch away.
Yeah,
Oh
you see all
my.
those guys?
There's a lot of
Right?
bugs.
So that's what you want to do. This is amazing life in there, okay? And as you dig deeper, you can find more worms too, okay? Here's
put it-
my feeding.
Oh,
So you're
you
gonna
bury
bury
'em.
the castings.
Yeah.
Nice.
He buried the
With
worms.
With worms and the
And the worms
castings.
too.
Now you could actually you could actually take just the casting, so you keep on having the worms in there, and you can use a screen to basically do it. I've seen people that do it very violently. It's kind of like I think about animal farming when I see like big worm farms, because they put them in these big tumblers and they tumble them around and all of that. I mean, even right now, but I was pretty gentle, and even if you put it through a screen, it's like be gentle. Use it. You can also you can do it through a screen, and I'll have some of you guys harvest that, or we can all kind of like do it. You can do it through a screen, and you can do those worm castings in your beds, in your veggie beds, okay, or your plant, your potted plant. That's an okay application. You can also put it in a bucket, a full hand in a 10-gallon bucket. You just put it in the bucket, you mix it a lot, and you basically water with that. And then of course, whatever is at the bottom, that goes into the garden. That's also another
You
application.
dissolve the castings into water and just
Exactly.
apply it like a tea.
Exactly. So this is very life rich. It's not just worms in there. There's microorganisms in there galore, like billions and billions in that poop. Now, so the tea brings life. It's not necessarily nutrients that we're looking at here, okay? The same like the hand that I just put in there. I put life in there. And it's not just what we saw, the worms. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You guys got vermicomposting?
Yeah.
Cool. And it could be done like big scale. Okay?